Yo, what's up? It's your boy Carspec and welcome to this video. Today, I have something that I'm going to talk about that's been on my mind for a couple of years now. A lot of things has been on my mind for a couple of years now, but this is something that I want to bring up right now. As you know, Forza Horizon 6 is right around the corner. I'm pretty sure it's coming out this year. And so, a lot of people's minds right now are on about what it's going to be taking place in. What is going to be taking place in South America? Is it going to be taking place in North America? Again, is it going to be taking place in somewhere in Asia? Japan? I don't know about that one, man. Now, put frankly, I don't know anything about what's going to be coming to this game. So, yeah. I just don't want this game to take place in Japan at all. Here's my reasoning. But before I get into the reasoning, I want to shout out to HokiHoshi for giving me the inspiration to make this video. He just dropped a recent Horizon 6 video on why he thinks Horizon 6 is going to take place in Japan, and he brought up a lot of points within the video. You guys can check it out. I'll put it in the description, I'll put it in the comment maybe. Yeah, so it gave me a lot of thoughts and a lot of things to say on this video. It's not gonna be a very long video, but I'm gonna get the thoughts out. It's gonna be kind of me just rambling a little bit. Just bear with me with that. But let's get right to it. So basically, with all the Horizon games, right, we have all these kind of different locations and maps, right? And throughout it all, we've had every single game has been expanding its map in scale. Horizon 1 was the smallest to Horizon 5 being the biggest. When you look at Horizon 5 as a map, it is not a full map, in my opinion. It's not a full map. It's kind of empty. It's very big in scale, but it's kind of empty. And a lot of things on the map are very downscaled, in size to fit the quality of the overall graphics of the game and all that kind of stuff, because Forza is obviously up there when it comes to graphics. Not really Forza Motorsport, but kind of looks good in that area, but that's not the main topic here. Anyways, it's not very big. It's big in scale, but it's not as big as something like The Crew, for example, because obviously it's trying to fit that graphical heights. It's trying to fit that. So obviously it has to downplay its areas, locations, whatever within its map. If Horizon 6 takes place in Japan, HokiHoshi has pointed this out in his video. It's not gonna have Tokyo. It's not gonna have Tokyo. That's it. If it takes place in Japan, it's not gonna have Tokyo. And people are gonna be really upset about that. People are gonna really be mad about that, including myself. How could you not have Japan with Tokyo? And instead of it's gonna have a smaller city, and with that city that it potentially gonna have, it's not even gonna be that big. It's probably gonna be the size of maybe Edinburgh, and that's it. It's not gonna be any bigger than that. Maybe a little bit bigger than it, but that's it. It's not gonna be as good as it can be in scale of size and how it is actually in real person, because Guanajuato in real life is very different from in Horizon 5, right? And that plays into the rest of the map. The whole rest of the map plays into the whole rest of the map. A lot of things have to be downscaled in size, and you're not going to be able to experience the full country. You're not going to be able to experience the full location as much as you can possibly can. You know what I'm saying? Japan if it is in Horizon 6. If Japan is the location, you're not going to be able to experience full Japan, and that is not really good, because Japan is practically the #1 country for car culture. It is the #1 country. If it isn't, I don't know what is. It is so impactful in that aspect. You can't get it. You can't get it wrong, man. You can't. You need to get that one right, and I don't think we're ready for that yet. I don't think Playground Games is ready for that yet. There's so many other locations to go, to explore first before Japan, and that's why I think Japan should not be the location for a Horizon game until the final installment. Until the final installment. I think Japan is such a good country. I'd love for a Horizon game to be in Japan. I'd love for it to be in Japan. That would be awesome. That would be perfect. And that is why I would want the last game to be that location. I would want it, because that is a final game. That sounds like a final game. Horizon Japan. That would be a perfect ending to the series. And I know this series is not gonna go on for so long. It's not gonna last forever. I don't think any series is gonna last forever, even Need for Speed. Yeah, like, that's it, man. I don't really know what else to say. They're, you know, by the time that the series is gonna come to a close, it's gonna be just about, you know, maybe 2050, 2060, 2040, something around there. There's gonna be a lot more things you can do with games. There's a lot more tools you can put into games. You can obviously make maps way bigger. You can obviously, the graphics will be able to handle that type of thing. You're gonna be able to really optimize those consoles, or whatever those suits or consoles, to the fullest with those, you know, those games. You could be able to do whatever you want to do. So a final installment being in Japan will be perfect. It would be awesome, because we would be able to fully experience Japan for what it is. We could have multiple cities within Japan if it is the last installment. If it's the last installment, we can have a lot of cities other than just Tokyo. And that's what I want to see, you know. And another thing I want to bring up is, how can you follow up after Japan? If Horizon 6 takes place in Japan, how could you top that? You can't. There's nothing else you can top. There's nothing else. There isn't. In my opinion, there isn't anything else. I'm looking at this like from a whole overall player-based perspective. People are gonna be like, oh, so we went from Japan to India. What? We went from Japan to France. Oh, France is in Horizon 2. Sorry. We went from Japan to Switzerland. What? And that goes for any other country other than those two countries I mentioned. It just won't make sense. And it will just be kind of a downgrade to a lot of people, even though I kind of am not really in that area. Like, I wouldn't really feel that way, but that's how it's gonna feel to a lot of people. And I get that, because Japan is Japan. And so that is why I think overall as to why Forza Horizon 6 should not take place in Japan. Anyways, guys, that is it. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.